Welcome friends. In this video I'm going to be sharing about how to get unstuck. So in the life coaching work that I do, I work with many people who just feel stuck in their life or stuck with a certain problem that they can't seem to find an answer to or a resolution to. So I'm going to be explaining what I see the problem is and talking about the key tool that we can use to be able to move through our own stuckness. So the problem I see is that most of us are stuck in our heads. We literally are going round and round in our thoughts trying to find an answer to our problem. But the thing is, being in our heads is only giving us one very specific view of our reality. And this is not the place to be looking for the answers that are going to get you unstuck. So what is happening is that we have two aspects of our minds. Our conscious mind, that's our logical mind. It's where most of us live. It's what we are conscious of, our thoughts that we're having and our processes. But beneath this, we have our subconscious mind. Now this is more the hidden, darker aspects of the mind. It's our dream world, the archetypal world, and it's much more hidden from our view. As we're going through life, our senses are taking in information constantly from our environment, and that information is being sent through our vagus nerve up into our brain to be processed, because what our brain wants to do is to keep us safe. And all of this information is being filtered through our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is formed by the repeated patterns that we're exposed to in our life or particular traumas that we might have experienced. It all creates a filter through how we perceive reality, whether we are aware of it or not. So because all of this information is affecting our emotions and is affecting our behaviors, it's really important that we understand what is in our subconscious mind, because when we're feeling blocked or stuck, it's often due to these filters that are hidden or repressed within our psyche that we need to go and uncover and unearth to get the answers that we're looking for. So why are we stuck in our heads? Generally, there is a bias towards what we know, what is logical, because we feel safe. We feel safe with the known world. As soon as we start going into our subconscious, we are going into the unknown, into parts of ourselves that we might have repressed, experiences that were really difficult or traumatic for us, would all be found and uncovered in our subconscious psyche. So for most people, it's just easier and safer to stay in the logical mind. And this is what we have set up in our society. We can see it reflected around us in the way that we are living in a patriarchal system. This is the yang energy, the masculine energy. It's what's logical and what is known. What we are moving towards is more balance. We are wanting to integrate our feminine energy. This is the darker, hidden worlds of our being. And as we are doing this inside of us, it is going to be reflected outside in terms of more balance, which we can already see with aspects of the patriarchy being challenged. So exploring the subconscious, we are facing our shadows, our fears and repressed aspects. We are integrating the more mysterious and unknown, darker and linear aspects, which I have called yin or feminine energy. The willingness to do this begins the journey of transformation. We are bringing ourselves back to wholeness because we are bringing our yin and our yang, both sides of ourselves, together. And courage is needed to do this. That is why it is often called the warrior's path. Not everybody is willing to look in and do that inner work. But as we do it, we are rewarded with increased space for who we really are to emerge, and more joy, more happiness, just a general sense of empowerment arises when we begin this transformational work. So working with the conscious and the subconscious mind is the work that I do in the deep transformational life coaching work. The conscious mind is really good, as I say, for logical things like setting goals, creating structures. But to do that deep inner transformational work, we need to uncover our blockages, and that is when we need to drop deeper into those aspects of our subconscious mind. So the process of transformation becomes possible when we can see through these patterns that are keeping us stuck. So it's almost like once we can see them, we become aware of them. And then it's simply a process of noticing when they're arising in our life. We know what they are. We've already identified them. And at that point, we have choice in who we are being. We can either follow the old pattern of how we responded to that situation in the past, or we can choose to respond differently out of this greater awareness that we now have access to. So we can begin to use our awareness like an ally. It's like taking a flashlight and going down into our darker repressed aspects and shining a light on those areas. And many of them are repressed because there's a fear there of something that we've encountered in our past. So bringing our awareness to just be with it, to sit with it, to make space for it, invites it into a loving, safe, holding place. And at that point, you can see what happened to create that belief, and you can then begin to choose a different belief based on where you are now in your life, and being able to look back and reflect on what happened and to not let it continue sabotaging your life going forward. So this is what we say, where awareness can act like our best friend. It can bring safety when we are present enough to be willing to feel our fears and sit with them. And it's also what self-love looks like. It's being your own best friend. So that is when you are feeling these difficult, heavy emotions, when you're feeling uncomfortable sensations in your body, that you are able to locate your awareness to be present with them and to stay with them. You love yourself when you are always there for yourself in a loving and supportive way. That is such a beautiful definition of self-love, to be present and loving with yourself no matter what's coming up. Just notice the voice in your head in how you speak to yourself and how you show up for yourself. Because expanding our capacity to be with pain expands our capacity to love. So the first step is being with our own pain and expanding our capacity to love ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. And as we do this within us, so our capacity to be with the pain of others also grows and expands. I've created a meditation called Awareness as an Ally. So if you're wanting to get support in locating your awareness and how to bring it into your body, then you can listen to that meditation. It is free on my Patreon group called Sacred Union Mystery School, so you can access that there. If you want to do deeper one-to-one work with me, you can book a deep transformational coaching session on my website, ionaruth.com. We can do a free discovery session and just talk about where you're at in your life, where you feel stuck, what you want to work on, because ultimately we all in a process of emerging, in a process of flowering and bringing our gifts, bringing our uniqueness. And truly we all could do with support in that area, in supporting each other to flower and to blossom. Because as we do this, that's how we recreate the Garden of Eden on earth. That is where we need to go to be the love that we want to see in the world. So you're also invited to join my Patreon group, Sacred Union Mystery School, which is a community that I'm creating where we can support each other, where people who are wanting to grow and flower can do that together. So thanks for listening to me today, and I look forward to sharing with you again in the future. So much love.